Thank you for watching my channel. Please subscribe and like. Now back to the news. A container ship lost power and crashed into a major bridge in the city of Baltimore early on Tuesday, causing it to snap in several places and plunge into the river below. The operators of the ship issued a mayday call moments before the crash that took down the bridge, enabling authorities to limit vehicle traffic on the span, Maryland's governor said. The ship crashed into one of the bridge's supports, causing the structure to break apart like a toy. 2 people were rescued from the water, and officials said 6 people were still unaccounted for. All were believed to be those working on the bridge when it collapsed. It tumbled into the water in a matter of seconds, a shocking spectacle that was captured on video and posted on social media.
So at approximately 0140 hours this morning, our 911 center dispatched a call to the Baltimore City Fire Department for a report of a water rescue in the Patapsco River in the area of the Key Bridge. As units were responding, they began to receive numerous calls indicating multiple people in the water. At some point during that chain of events of calls, we began to receive indications that a ship may have struck the Key Bridge. We got further information through multiple calls that the Key Bridge, portions of the Key Bridge had actually collapsed. At about 0150 hours, our first unit arrived on scene and reported a complete collapse of the Key Bridge. We were also given information at that time that there were likely multiple people on the bridge at the time of the collapse, and that as a result, multiple people were in the water. We were able to remove 2 people from the water. 1 individual refused service and refused transport. Essentially, that person was not injured. However, there was another individual that's been transported to a local trauma center that is in very serious condition.
Social media. The vessel caught fire and thick black smoke billowed out of it. The crash happened long before the busy morning commute in what one official called a developing mass casualty event. Brandon Scott, mayor of Baltimore, which is in the state of Maryland, said, "Never would you think that you would physically see, the Key Bridge tumble down like that. It looked like something out of an action movie," Mr. Scott said, calling it an unthinkable tragedy. President Joe Biden said he planned to travel to Baltimore as quickly as I can, and that he intends for the federal government to pick up the entire cost of rebuilding the bridge. "This is going to take some time," Mr. Biden said. "The people of Baltimore can count on us, though, to stick with them at every step of the way until the port is reopened and the bridge is rebuilt." Authorities said a crew of unknown size was working on the bridge at the time of the collapse, and that sonar had detected cars in the water, which is about 50 feet, 15 meters, deep. The temperature in the water was about 47 F, 8C, in the early hours of Tuesday, according to a buoy that collects data for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Earlier, Kevin Cartwright, director of communications for the Baltimore Fire Department, told the Associated Press that several vehicles were on the bridge at the time of the collapse, including one the size of a tractor-trailer truck. The bridge came down in the middle of night when traffic would be lighter than during the day, when thousands of cars traverse the span. Mr. Cartwright called the collapse a developing mass casualty event. Synergy Marine Group, which manages the ship, called the Dolly, confirmed the vessel hit a pillar of the bridge at about 1:30 a.m., while it was in control of 2 pilots, who were local specialists who helped navigate vessels safely into ports. The ship is owned by Grace Ocean Private Limited. It said all crew members, including the pilots, were accounted for, and there were no reports of any injuries.